Your best choice. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
9년 전 한국에서의 새로운 출발을 위해 부산을 처음 찾은 프랭크. 부산의 자연과 사람, 부산에서 누리는 모든 것을 사랑하는 그는 부산의 변함없는 한데에 늘 감탄합니다.
I think that Busan people are actually very, very kind and very welcoming. If I seemed a little lost, there was always someone that was there to ask me if I needed help. They're more seriously friendly than it's very serious. I very seriously want to help you.
부산의 한결같은 모습도 늘 감동을 주지만 이제는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Laura McLucky and Minsu Shin. BFM 부산 영어방송.
Hello, and a happy Monday to all of our listeners. You are tuned into Inside Out Busan, and I'm your host, Minsu Shin, all by my lonesome here in the studio. Well, question for you to start off our show. Is it better to get married or stay single? You know, this is quite a tricky question. 고민 좀 많이 하는 분들이 있죠. So, married people, they say, finding comfort in having someone by their side when they're, let's say, sick. That's a good part of getting married. While singles may experience increased life satisfaction overall. So, starting today, I'm a solo DJ. 저 혼자입니다. But 괜찮아요. I'm okay because I'm not so lonely here in the studio because I have you, the listeners. 맞죠? Right?
네가 떠나면 남겨진 내가 눈물로 수없이 많은 마음을 줬을 거라 너는 믿고 있겠지만 내가 미안하겠지만 난 괜찮아 나를 동정해주는 말 I'm 그대가 나의 전부일 거란 생각은 나 아무리 약해 보이고 아무리 어려 보여도 난 괜찮아 나는 쓰러지지 않아 난 괜찮아 되돌아가 그대의 사랑 같은 사랑 원하지 않아 아무리 아름다워도 아무리 꿈결 같아도 영원토록 변치 않을 수 없다면 난 괜찮아 Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah.
And that was 진주 with 난 괜찮아. I just want to let our listeners know. 네, 저는 괜찮습니다. 전 괜찮아요. I'm okay. As many of you have probably tuned in, I don't know, last week, maybe even tuned in Friday, you have found out that, yeah, last week was Laura's last day here on Inside Out Busan. She's not gone from BFM, but just away from Inside Out Busan. And you might be thinking, oh, is Minsu okay? Is he going to be okay? 전 괜찮아요. On the outside, I'm 괜찮아. Still don't know what to feel on the inside. But like I said, I don't feel too lonely because I have you, our listeners. 우리 토끼님 벌써 문자 들어왔습니다. 노래 천곡 대박. 크크크. 우시는 거죠? You're not alone. 우는 건 아닙니다. I hold my tears for after the show. We'll see how today goes. But thank you so much for tuning in. This is Inside Out Busan, and I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Starting today, yes, all by my lonesome. Not by choice, might I add. Right? So I started off the show talking about, a lot of people opting, and they have their own, reasons why they are single or they're married. There's a saying, 싱글족은 혼자라 편하지만 외롭다. 결혼족은 내 편이 있어 좋지만 피곤하다. So single people might feel comfortable being alone, but you can't help but to get lonely sometimes, right? Whereas married people, they enjoy having someone by their side, but they could also feel tired at times. Well, recent studies reveal that married people also have this built-in social and emotional support when it comes to just being with each other and are less likely to participate in risky behaviors. I say risky, things such as, drinking, heavy smoking, or maybe things like gambling, right? If you have somebody to keep you in check, like a support system that's always next to you, right? You're less inclined to be a part of these things. Now, I'm not siding with one side just because I'm married. I'm not saying, single is not the way to go. Single people are said to often enjoy enhanced physical strength compared to married people and overall life satisfaction because they're more physically active. So because they're able to move around a little bit more and a little bit freely, they're a bit more physically active, maybe a bit more in shape compared to, on average, married people. But it is said they are to have poorer diets compared to married people. I guess 혼자 살면 혼자 요리하기 좀 힘들잖아요. That's why a lot of people, especially living in Korea, you opt to go for to-go. You opt to go for delivery, right? And, there are healthy options when it comes to just those places overall to buy food. But, nothing beats a home-cooked meal, right? And you got to admit, when you have a family, right, married couples, they do a bit more of that compared to singles. So I guess, there's no clear-cut answer, right? Being single or being married. But, I guess a recommendation, maybe for those that are thinking about marriage but currently single, before you get married, really, I guess, kind of see what's out there in terms of just living by yourself, right? So a lot of people do recommend see what it's like living by yourself first before you, before you, let's say, move out of your parents' house, and then before you get married, and basically you're living with another person, right? So it's imperative you learn what it's like to live with yourself first. So listeners, seeing that I'm here in the studio by myself, actually not right now, we have somebody else here in the studio that's waiting for her turn, right? You know who. But like I said, I'm alone, starting by myself. For the past, 2 years, I had Laura with me here in the studio, but 갑자기 이렇게 혼자 하게 됐으니까 I don't know what to feel right now. I'm feeling okay right now. But what about you, listeners? Do you just like being by yourself overall? Like, would you rather go to the movies with somebody or by yourself? What about, just dinner out, right? Would you invite someone or eat by yourself? Or maybe, I don't know. 이거 조금 리스키한 질문인데요. If, let's say, you're reborn, let's say you get a chance to start all over, would you choose a married life or a single life? 자, 만약에 다시 태어난다면 결혼할 것 같아요? 아니면 또는 싱글 쪽으로 무조건 가겠다. 무엇을 택하고 싶습니까? I will totally, not let anybody else know on the radio. If you don't want to let your answer be known to everybody else, I will omit your name. Because we could have like married couples listening to the show. 맞죠? 부부도 같이 들을 수 있으니까 그냥 살짝 혼자 저기 방 구석에 가서 문자 하나 보내주세요. Alright? So let me know. pound 9050 샵 9050 will cost you 101. Or you could let us know on our Kakao Talk. Or you could log on to YouTube. And you could chat with me on there. That's for free as well. Let's get to today's News Bites. Time for the Monday edition of News Bites with BFM newscaster Annie with us here in the studio. Hi, Annie.
Hi.
Hi. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
좀 스튜디오 좀 썰렁하지 않아요?
A little bit.
Is it just me or is it just a little tad bit chilly for some reason?
You are incredibly far away.
Usually you're sitting closer to me, like you're between me and Laura, right? But seeing that Laura's in here, you get the good chair.
It's still squeaky. I'm
You
sorry.
get the good chair. Well, you get the good. Well, I guess
good angle.
a good angle, right? You get the good camera as well.
Yeah.
How's your Monday?
My Monday's actually pretty good.
Oh, that's good to
Started
hear.
off with a double shot of Americano,
Yes.
courtesy of Vasana. Thank you.
The only way to go, double shot, right?
Yep.
Annie, now this question for you might be, hopefully, nobody that will be affected by your answer is listening. Let's say if you had the choice, right? Would you, and you're starting all over again, would you still get married? Or would you maybe partake more in like being single, maybe even before you get married? Let's say you get married later on, but you have the choice of staying single a little longer. Would that be something?
I mean, oh man, I'm going to be so cliche, but I'd get married again. I've been with my husband for 10 years.
Wow.
So I certainly enjoy having a partner, I guess.
Right? Okay.
If I've stuck with him that long.
I'm going to have to ask Annie off air that question one more time. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I
My
totally...
fingers are crossed under the table.
I totally know what you mean. And I think that's probably the answer for a lot of married couples, right?
It's fun.
Once they're happy in their marriage. Yeah, it's 재밌어요.
You can be weird and they accept you or
Right.
try to.
They have no choice
Yeah, they
but
can't
to,
run away.
right? You can just be yourself. So that's like one good part, one good aspect of being married. Well, thank you so much for being honest and sharing your answer. So today's News Bites, the Monday edition of this segment. What do you got?
All right, so let's do a little rundown of Lee Jae-myung. So prosecutors have requested an arrest warrant today for breach of trust, bribery, perjury, and violation of the Foreign Exchange Transaction Act for Democratic Party leader Lee Jae-myung. This is all in relation to a land development scandal and allegations of his involvement in a company's illegal cash remittance to North Korea. So a prosecution official said they had fully considered the reason for this arrest, such as the gravity of the crime and also the possibility of destruction of evidence, all in accordance with the arrest standards generally applied to suspects under the law. And regarding Lee's hunger strike, the official said they had requested an arrest warrant on the principle that criminal justice should not turn into a political problem, and that criminal justice should not be hindered by factors other than the rights guaranteed by the law. So they're just following the law. As Lee is an incumbent member of the National Assembly, though, he does have immunity from arrest. So the court's interrogation before arrest will only take place when the arrest motion passes the plenary session of the National Assembly, which is looking to be around the 20th or the 21st.
I see. Yeah, a lot of eyes on the Lee Jae-myung situation. I'm sure a lot of people have seen pictures of him, right?
Right.
In the middle of his hunger strike. So could you maybe share details on that, his hunger strike?
Yes, kind of shocking photos. But early this morning, Lee Jae-myung was taken to the hospital as he entered his 19th day of the hunger strike. It was reported that his blood sugar levels had dropped quite suddenly, which then caused him to feel confused and also a bit hazy. And Democratic Party spokesperson Han Min-soo said that he has expressed his will to continue his hunger strike even while hospitalized, to which the spokesperson also said it shows his determination to lead the way to change in this current administration. So while he is hospitalized, he will not eat any sort of food, but he will receive a steady fluid IV.
Yeah. So that's, and hunger strikes are seen in a lot of politicians and
Right.
rulers, not only here in Korea, but around the world as a form of like nonviolent protest. But to kind of be in the middle of everything that's going on with Lee Jae-myung already, this is something that we're going to have to continue to keep our eyes on. And I'm sure, more updates on his condition as well as what he'll be facing in terms of the arrest warrant.
Right.
More will be had. Thank you so much for that. What's next?
Right, a bit of good news. So the Kaya Kobungun or Kaya Tumulis, which are a group of these like 7 ancient tombs that represent Korea's ancient civilization, that's Kaya, has become a UNESCO World Heritage Site
Nice.
officially.
Nice.
Kaya is this generic term here in Korea for small federations that flourished mainly in the Nakdongang river basin from before and after AD and also all the way to the year 562. At a meeting in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the UNESCO World Heritage Committee decided to list this Kaya Tumuli on the World Heritage list. That was on Sunday local time. And the World Heritage Committee said that the Kaya Tumuli is estimated to possess, quote, outstanding universal value, which I love to hear, as material evidence of a rare political structure that maintained autonomy and a horizontal relationship with neighboring countries. And it also shows the diversity of ancient civilizations in East Asia.
Nice. Well, congratulations
Yay.
to that region. High fives all around. Now your resume just got a little longer. Tell us a little bit more and maybe details, maybe some history as well about the Kaya Tumuli.
Right. Well, you said region, but it actually spans a few regions.
Oh.
They are basically a series of heritage sites that combine 7 ancient tombs that existed in the Yeongnam and Honam region mainly. They existed from the 1st to the mid-6th century. And it consists of, I'm going to list them all because it's important.
Yes.
지산동 ancient tombs in Goryeo, 대성동 ancient tombs in Kimhae, 하만 마리산 ancient tombs, 교동 and 송현동 ancient tombs in Changryong, 송악동 ancient tombs in Goseong, 합천 옥전 ancient tombs, and 유곡리 and 부락리 ancient tombs in Namwon. So you can visit them all. With the latest edition of the Kaya Tumuli, though, the number of World Heritage Sites here in our beautiful South Korea has increased up to 16.
Nice. Now, I'll be honest. My parents have told me when I was really young that I visited a couple of these on a very forced kind of like family trip.
Yeah.
But being so young, I don't remember any of them.
I mean, I think to a child's eye, it just looks like a mound of grass.
Yeah, just the amount of
So
grass.
sorry.
Probably.
They are beautiful.
Yeah. But now, as an adult, and I appreciate the history,
Yeah.
right, and culture of just our country overall, this is definitely another reason to go check it out,
Yeah,
right?
maybe a good trip.
Yeah. Congratulations to the Kaya Tumuli once again. Let's get to our last bit of news. Let's go international this time.
Yes, so China's top diplomat, that's Wang Yi, began a 4-day trip to Russia today. So during the trip, both nations, that's China and Russia, are expected to pledge deeper mutual political trust, which then kind of signals a possible landmark visit by President Vladimir Putin to Beijing maybe next month. Wang is the head of the Foreign Ministry of China and also the ruling Communist Party's Foreign Affairs Office. And he is set to meet with Security Council Secretary Nikolai Patrushev for just the annual security talks. But here he will also speak with his counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, and is expected to cover a wide range of issues, No details further then. But this does include contacts at higher and the highest levels, according to the Russian Foreign Ministry.
Okay. What else will be discussed during that time?
They are expected to discuss the expansion of NATO forces and infrastructure in the Asia-Pacific region, and also strengthening their coordination in international groupings such as the UN. And this follows the controversial meeting between Kim Jong-un of North Korea and also Putin, which we followed quite closely, to which Alexander Korolev, who is an expert on China-Russia relations with the University of New South Wales in Australia, said that whatever is happening with Russia and North Korea cannot be happening without China knowing about it. So they're expecting this upcoming meeting to kind of discuss what happened there as well.
Yeah. I think the important thing is that, other countries kind of get in on what they're discussing if it's going to be
Right.
something that's going to be affecting the rest of the international community, right?
Yes.
Like we said last week, if countries like North Korea, Russia get together and then you throw China in there too, a lot of people are going to be wondering what's going to be discussed, because you can bet that it's going to be affecting not only those three countries, but a lot of other people.
Yeah, and it's also a little scary that we do have to just rely on what their media is reporting.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we're going to get direct reports
Right.
from their ministries.
Yeah. Transparency is not, I guess, the strongest suit.
Right? It's
Yeah.
a game, ultimately.
All right, well, that'll do it for today's News Bites. Annie, thank you so much for your hard work today. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Yes, of course.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Time for a quick song break. This is REO with Savior.
I'm out my mind, she said that's fine, boy, drive between the lines. But I've been on this roller coaster one too many times. It's the same thing, yeah, we rushing, caught up in vain discussion. No, your champagne concussion, but I think I like the buzz. Come a little closer, babe, I can feel you aching. It's so cool, it's heartbreaking. But if I take you all the way, and I fall like the angels, see, I can be a savior. And after all, this town is drowning anyway. So hit the wave, how cliche. And now here comes the rain, always the same thing. Hesitation to build anticipation, such a fine intoxication. And I don't mind the rush. So come a little closer, babe, I can feel you aching. It's so cool, it's heartbreaking. But if I take you all the way, and I fall like the angels, see, I can be a savior. Come a little closer, babe, I can feel you aching. So cool, it's heartbreaking. But if I take you all the way, and I fall like the angels, see, I can be a savior. No, I can be a savior.
And that was REO with Savior. The time is now 6:30 here in the studio, Monday edition of Inside of Busan, and I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin, your only host of this program. Just to let our listeners know, last week was officially Laura's last week on Inside Out Busan. Best of luck to her and her future endeavors. Does that sound so very generic without any soul to say? No. Of course, we're going to miss Laura very much. A new era of Inside Out Busan has started, right? And it's just me here in the studio. A bit colder than usual, like I mentioned. 근데 아닙니다. I don't feel alone, right? I have you, our listeners, as well. People to keep me company. We had Annie not too long ago, and then we have our next guest in the studio also patiently waiting, right? He's very much waiting to kind of get on the camera, actually. I didn't even put the camera on me.
Yeah.
Right? Well, there you go. Andrew, you want to say hi already to our listeners?
I've been dancing away over here. How's everyone doing out there today? I'm happy I can be, keep you company.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for.
And then there was one.
Yeah. It's not Survivor,
One
all right?
is the loneliest number.
아니에요. 저 절대로 lonely하지 않아요. 저 괜찮아요. I'm okay, right? We have a couple messages to get to, but I do want to let our listeners know of the weather and the traffic. Oh, I'm doing this by myself too, right? When it comes to the weather, we have the mercury level at 27 right now here in Busan. We're averaging. Expecting a morning low of 23 and an afternoon high of 29. The weather forecast for our city predicts a dry day under sunny skies all day, and tomorrow's daytime temperatures are expected to be significantly higher than those of today. 내일도 부산은 후덥지근한 날씨를 보이겠습니다. So, yeah, act and dress accordingly. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion on Pansonglo from Yeonsan Junction all the way to Gwajong Junction. There's also congestion on Daegyeoro from Yeonnan-Budu 3-way intersection going towards Saegwan 3-way intersection. Slow-moving traffic on Suyeonglo from Daeyeon Pass going towards Daeyeon Junction. And a report of an accident, unfortunately, over on Mandokdaero from Mandok Junction towards Mandok Tunnel number 2. There's a trailer and several car collision in the first lane of Mandok Tunnel number 2. That's why you might be seeing a lot of backup towards the tunnel. So everybody, drive safe. 부탁드릴게요. So Andrew, real quick, before we get into today's 5분 상식, which you're going to help me out with today. Right? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Mike again. So today, Andrew, we're talking about, being single versus being married.
Oh, okay.
Right? And I actually asked our listeners.
Gotta be careful what I say.
A very tricky question, actually. I asked them, if you had the chance, let's say you got the chance to start all over again, right? Would you still go the married route, or would you opt to stay single? Maybe I'll even give you the choice because I don't want anybody to get in trouble, right?
No, totally.
Let's say option number 3, you could stay single for longer than you maybe have before, but
that's a good
still at
question.
the end, get married.
Sure.
Right? So out of those 3, I'm afraid to ask, would you choose one of them?
I've been married for 10 years now, so, I guess I wasn't too young when I got married, but also not too old. I don't know. I think I have this conversation with my younger single friends, and it's something I guess I missed, or I wasn't a part of the whole online dating thing, with the apps and whatnot.
Sure.
So I'm really curious of how that would have changed my dating experience because I'd never experienced that, so I didn't have the sense of like these blind dates or things like that I met somebody online. I'm curious of how that would have went.
Yeah.
But no, I think, I'm very happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I think if I was single for a little bit longer and then got married, but then again, I think, and you may think the same as I definitely wanted to have kids, but I still wanted to be young enough when I had them or they could enjoy me as an active father and not a 60-year-old guy on the couch going, hey, you whippersnappers, stop making all that noise.
라떼는 말이야, right? Oh, you know what? That's got to be the safest answer I've heard.
Hey.
You worked it out in your
around
head.
and came back.
Pretty much, right? Good job. We also have now. I don't want to say the name of this person, right? Because I don't know. I don't want the person to get in trouble. So I'll read them their message. This person's a regular. She's a regular here on Inside Out Busan. 이번 생에는 결혼했으니 다음 생에는 싱글로. Sorry 남편, because she got married in this life. In the next life, single.
Oh, you got to try both, right?
Yeah,
Sorry.
right? And then, 토킹님, in the next life after that, then you could weigh between the two and then choose one,
Come back as an animal.
right? Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
Then, I don't know, do animals get married?
Well, some are very overprotective.
Yeah, true. We also have HK님 saying, I'm single and currently living alone. It makes me happy to have a lot of freedom, so I like it, but sometimes I feel lonely as well. Yeah, I mean, you get the freedom, but then with that
Cat.
freedom,
A cat will solve that.
HK님, Andrew has suggested, what if he already has a
cat.
pet?
Well, there you go. I don't fish.
Right.
No, not fish. Fish. No, nothing against fish, but they're not going to keep you
Of
company.
course, a lot of people do opt, for to adopt a pet or a cat. Maybe that's something that'll
There you go.
help them with the loneliness,
Yeah.
and it is proven to do so, right? All right, so yeah, let me know which of those options you would choose. Time for today's 5분 상식. 네, time for today's IOB 5분 상식, getting our listeners in the know of some of the most trending, useful, and need-to-know words and expressions. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간이죠. 네, 오늘은요, 저랑 앤드루가 최근 연구 결과대 하는데요. 괴성을 지르면서 운동하면 살이 더 빠진다? 이게 진짜일까요?
Let's get physical, physical. I wanna get physical.
I'm Korea's top fitness trainer. Come on, folks. Push harder. Scream those calories away. Hey, you, newcomer.
Me? I came to the gym. This is my first time today. I want to lose a little weight.
You there. What are you doing? Show some enthusiasm. Scream it out. Come on. You can do it. Push harder. Louder.
Oh, I'm really trying. Really.
Listen up, buddy. If you want to lose weight, you gotta give it your all. Scream like you mean it. It's a little swear words. Get them out. Lift it up. Come
Oh,
on.
I'm not sure if I can. Okay.
Louder.
I see.
Come on. Buddy, let it rip.
수박씨 개나리 시베리아 허스키야.
Yeah, buddy. That's the spirit. Keep it up, and you'll see the results in no time.
Oh, I'm gonna be a muscle man.
Physical, let me hear your body talk. Your body talk, let me hear your body.
Now, just to set the record straight, listeners, I'm a very loud yeller.
At the gym.
No, not at the gym.
Just Minsu walking down the road.
Everywhere else but the gym.
He's
for
just
me,
like,
right?
hey. People are like, what? He's like, I'm walking here.
Yeah, but the script told me I have to be very timid. Okay. 자, at the gym, for those that do go, you might occasionally hear, patrons shouting, sometimes even using strong language like swear words, right? They need like a censor button sometimes at the gym, especially when they're lifting weights. Especially heavy weights, right? So, does shouting or maybe even mildly swearing actually have an impact on your athletic performance?
This is something that people have said for a long time. Like if you're playing a sport, like even when you see the tennis players.
Yeah.
And they're, "Ugh." And people are like, do they have to do it? Well, research from the UK's Keele University has found that shouting or swearing during exercise can improve performance and even help you deal with pain. Also, it says shouting with certain interjections can boost both physical power and strength.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be something like a synergy between like shouting and the adrenaline rushing.
Yeah, definitely.
So the shouting gets your adrenaline rushing, and then the adrenaline rushing gets you to shout more, right? And it just keeps going. So what's the reason then behind how using these interjections, like even swearing, can actually improve your performance?
Well, sometimes when people exercise intensely, they may find shouting or using these interjections just popping out involuntarily, like, oh, come on, holy moly, darn. These kind of things. I never said holy moly in a long time. All right, that's funny. A new study published in the Journal of Psychology of Sports and Exercise, shouting has revealed to increase pain tolerance and triggers an adrenaline response potentially aiding in weight loss. Now, moreover, while other languages typically engage the left brain, shouting or swearing activates the right brain, encouraging the sympathetic nervous system, to kick in.
Oh, okay. So maybe, to kind of like pump yourself up a little more in whatever exercise that you do. Yeah, maybe shouting, maybe a little bit of swearing.
I will say test the waters in your gym or fitness center because in my apartment complex, there is like a health center. And it's majority older people in there. And I believe if I was to go in there and jump on bench press and was like, I think I would probably send somebody to the hospital.
Yeah, or maybe you probably find yourself being alone in the gym afterwards, right?
Then it wouldn't be a problem.
아, 쟤 또 왔어. 저 앤드루 맨날 괌 지르고 난리야.
There's lots of gyms and health centers out there, though, that would push for this, that they want this kind of environment.
맞아요.
And some people aren't comfortable in it. But I don't know. It's all right.
I do find myself shouting a lot when I'm playing, like, let's say basketball.
Sure.
But only when I make a mistake.
That's me playing hockey. And the other guys are like, why are you getting so angry at us? I'm like, it's myself. I'm angry at myself.
Exactly. It's my way of coping with my failures, right? We have 토끼님 chiming in saying, 웃다가 기절. Is Andrew another fitness instructor?
Every day. Watch out.
맞아요. You can catch Andrew every Monday from here on out on 5분 상식. Andrew, thank you so much. Stick around. We have today's Riddler segment to get to. 네, 오늘의 5분 상식 운동할 때 내뱉는 의성어나 개성은 고통을 줄이고 아드레날린을 분출시켜 체중 감량에 효과적이다라고 합니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 교회종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 저 그 라디오라도 좀.
그래, 라디오.
네가 저번 주에 오신 타밍 같네.
22번 훈련병!
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
Minsu's only friend, the Monday Riddler.
아니거든요. 저 친구 많거든요. I have a lot of friends. I have you, my wife, and my daughter.
Annie.
And Annie, yeah. That's what, 4.
There we go.
And then 작가님.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So that's 4 wrong to you, all right? That's 4 plus than what you had mentioned.
I love it.
Andrew, continue to be with us for today's Monday Riddler.
Definitely.
So, folks, time to help me out. So now from here on out, it's just one brain that's going to be working to solve these riddles.
Well, maybe if you start screaming, you'll activate the other side.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it makes you smarter, but I mean, or
It might make you a bit more scared to just tell me the answers.
I'm just like, you're right.
That's one way to go.
As I'm 1 foot out the door. It's all right.
No, stay just a little longer.
All right. So we this week we have, because this week it will switch to officially the fall season, right? So
네.
on the 21st, I guess it is, or 22nd here in Korea, 21st, whatever it is. And I won't be here before next week. So I have quite a few fall or autumn related riddles. And we'll see how you do with these.
So we have a theme today,
Yeah, kind of.
as autumn/fall is right around the corner. I don't know, it's so hot today though.
It's like you said, you kind of have to dress for it. And this is from being from the East Coast to Canada.
Yeah.
It is, you wake up in the morning, you take all 4 seasons with you. Like you need your winter clothes, you need some rain clothes.
Yeah.
In Busan right now, if you leave your house before, say, 7 a.m., you got to put a sweater on.
A little bit,
And
right?
then by, 11 o'clock, you're like, why did I wear this? Yeah. So.
And then if you're heading in, back home really late, it gets chilly again.
Yeah,
So
once that sun goes down, it's beautiful
I guess
outside.
right around
I
that
like it.
time. Sure. So let's do it. So today's riddles
There we go.
by the Riddler under the theme of Fall.
All right, a cute one to start it.
Oh, okay.
What is the cutest season?
What is the cutest season? 제일 귀여운 계절?
Well, I've told you the theme, so you should be able to get this, but you have to pronunciate this word correctly.
Okay. Fall?
Not like a question.
Autumn?
Yes, it is autumn. Like
Because the
autumn.
autumn. Okay. So that's the cutest season.
It's the cutest season.
Autumn. All right.
Let's move on here. Okay, we're gonna jump down to. I don't know. We're just gonna go in order.
Okay.
All right. There is a bush, a pine tree, and an oak tree, and it is the fall season. If the wind is blowing towards the west,
What?
which way does the leaves on the pine tree fall?
There's a bush, a pine tree, and an oak tree, and it's fall, and the
Yeah.
leaves are starting to fall. So if the wind is blowing towards the west, which way does the leaves on the pine tree fall? Trick question.
Oh, okay.
There's no wait. It's a pine tree,
Okay.
so it's pines that fall. Wait, do
Needle.
pine trees have leaves? Do you call them leaves?
No, they're called needles. So you are correct. You're correct.
Okay.
You're like, pine trees don't have leaves, is what you're going after. They have needles.
See?
All
You
right.
won't get me,
Look at this
Mr.
guy
Riddler, man.
on top of it all.
Yeah, 2-0. 2-0 right
All
now.
right, we're going to jump down to number 9 on the list. All right.
Just because I got 2 correct doesn't mean you go to the hardest one.
No, these are shorter ones.
Okay.
All right. What is a scarecrow's favorite fruit?
A scarecrow's favorite fruit.
Yes.
Scarecrow's favorite fruit. What do they enjoy? Why am I only thinking of pumpkin right now? That's not even a fruit.
When I heard this, I thought of Wizard of Oz, and I was like, did they have any fruit? Or,
If I only had a
there was
brain.
Yeah.
Fruit. What's a scarecrow's favorite fruit?
Yeah.
Do they even? I mean, what would they eat if they were given fruit?
You gotta have. I'll give you a hint.
Nah.
It's a play on words with it's a berry
Oh.
and has to do with a scarecrow, not a scareberry. It's not that. I knew you were gonna say that, so I took that right out.
And it has to do with the scarecrow.
Possibly of what they're made of.
Oh. That's so much of the hint. 정답.
Yeah,
Strawberry.
yeah, a strawberry.
Because they're made out of straw.
They're made out of straw. Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to eat something that's made out of me. You know what I mean?
All right, back up to number 3.
Yes.
You're a bus driver on a fall leaf tour.
Okay.
At the first stop, 4 people get on. At the second stop, 8 people get on. We're up to 10. At the third stop, 2 people get off. And at the fourth stop, everyone got off.
Oh.
The question is, what color are the bus driver's eyes?
What? What?
We need to clip that face, and that should be the thumbnail on the NoTube for today.
잠깐만. A bunch of people get on and a bunch of people get off,
Yeah.
and then everybody gets off. And
Sure.
you're asking me what color are the bus driver's eyes?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't even part of any type of information that was given.
100% part of the information.
What?
You're just not reading it correctly, Mincy.
You're the bus driver, and you're taking people on a fall leaf tour.
Okay.
To see the foliage.
Yeah, now go back down to the bottom part.
Okay, let me ask you this: do the number of people getting on and off, does that even matter?
Nope. It's called a distraction.
Okay. You're a bus driver on a fall leaf tour. The question is, what color
I
are the
cannot
bus
wait until you
driver's
get this.
eyes?
I cannot wait till you get this.
You're a bus driver on a fall leaf tour. What color are the bus driver's eyes? I don't know. 정답.
Yes?
Brown.
Why are you saying brown?
Because that's I think, the proportion of most people on this planet whose
Okay.
colors eyes
Now-
are.
Minsu,
Nah.
here's a question. What color are your eyes?
My eyes are brown.
Okay. Now, who's the bus driver?
I'm the bus driver.
This is the bus. So you're right. You said brown.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Minsu. He got it and he didn't even know it. There
So
you go.
I said the answer. So the answer is brown.
The same as yours. You're the bus driver.
I'm the bus driver
Yeah.
because you just say you're a bus driver on the phone. He's playing these words. You know what I mean?
I love it.
They get
it.
to me. Okay.
All right.
But I still answered correctly. So
Yeah, that's good.
I'm 4-0 right now. Not bad. Not shabby.
bad. We're going to go all the way down to 14.
Nah.
How do you fix a broken pumpkin?
How do you fix a broken pumpkin?
Yes. This is more of a dad joke.
Oh, how do you fix? Oh, you know what? We do have 아재 개그 dad joke king Ryu 원장님 in the YouTube with us. Dr. Ryu, how do you fix a broken pumpkin? Do pumpkins break?
Well, they smash.
Okay.
I definitely smashed a few in my life.
I am the lazy one who just let it rot.
Well, no,
on the
I would.
steps.
As a kid, I may have taken them off of people's front porches, and I was one of those kids.
Okay. Oh, because I was gonna say, were you the one? No, I'm just kidding.
And then one year we took them off of everybody in the neighborhood and put them on one person's porch. They
Oh
woke
my-
up and there was like 100, and then everyone's like, "Where did all our pumpkins go?" And they're
That's-
on one person's front area. It was pretty good.
Did they know who did it? Or
No, they did. Well, they had a suspicion because there was just one group of kids in the neighborhood that would have done something like that. And then we were like, "Oh, would you like us to help you put them back?" There's no problem.
See, that's a well thought out.
Here's
heist
my
right there.
hint.
Nah.
Where can you find, or where do pumpkins grow?
Pumpkins grow. Where do from the ground on the ground?
Sure, but like if you like if well, okay.
정답.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You patch them up
With a pumpkin patch.
with a pumpkin patch.
A pumpkin patch, people. It's a pumpkin patch
Oh
for
my
your
God.
pumpkin.
맞아, 이건 좀 아재 개그예요. This
It
is
is.
this is a pretty
This is 100%
a
a
dad
dad
joke,
joke.
right? So a pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. They call it like a patch, like
Yeah,
a
so-
patch of land, like a patch, right?
Yeah. So for our listeners who don't know, there's cabbage also grows in a patch. That's where like that toy, the Cabbage Patch Kids, come from.
Yeah.
All right. So that's on a farm. If it's an area where something like this is growing, it's called a patch. So yeah, very interesting.
Okay.
I think
all right. we got time for one more.
One more.
Yeah.
And maybe this will lead us out. What did the tree say to autumn?
What did the tree say to autumn? Fall, fall, no. What did the tree say to the autumn? Like autumn season, right?
Sure.
What did the tree catch my leaves? No. Don't let me die.
Leave me alone. There we go.
그건 좋다. That's a little cute. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Oh, because the trees wither.
Yeah. There you
Right?
go.
During the fall season.
There you go.
Andrew, I am going to do a self-assessment.
Oh, you did pretty good.
Not too bad, I
Even
wanna
when
say.
you didn't even know the answer, you got it right.
So it's a good day when I say
Yeah.
the answer and I don't even know why I got it correctly, right?
Hey, I'm not going to disagree with you.
All right. Andrew, Monday Riddler, thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one.
All right, bye. All right, listeners, that's going to wrap up the first hour of Inside Out Busan. But wait, there's more. I'll see you back here at 7. To take us out of the first hour, this is Mariah Carey, Fantasy.
Oh, when you walk by every night, talking sweet and
잠시 땀에 젖으면
왔다 여기
땀 냄새를 의식하게 되죠. 뉴다운이 시트러스 앤 버베나. 시트러스로 땀 냄새를 날리고 샤워한 듯한 상쾌한 만. 땀에 젖어도 향기만 오래. 다우니.
BEFM invites you to the 2023 My Life, My English Speech Festival.
2023 부산영어방송 세계시민 네트워킹 파티에 여러분을 초대합니다.
The festival features inspiring stories by the winners of the 2023 My Life, My English, followed by the networking party, where we get to meet all of you.
1부에는 2023 My Life, My English 참가자와의 시간이, 2부에는 다양한 이벤트와 미션이 가득한 네트워킹 파티가 이어집니다.
Besides that, let's gather our support for the final push for the 2030 World Expo in Busan.
깊어가는 가을, 부산 바다가 아름답게 펼쳐지는 동백섬. 세계의 정상들이 모여서 회의했던 바로 그곳. 두리마루 에이펙 하우스에서 세계 시민 여러분을 기다립니다. 자세한 사항은 부산 영어방송 홈페이지를 참고해주세요.
See you on October the 21st.
친환경에 필요한 거? 내 몸. 한 정거장 거리 정도는 걷기. 엘리베이터 대신 계단. 플러그 뽑으면서 스쿼트까지. 몸 좀 움직였을 뿐인데 건강 아끼고 환경 아끼는 친환경 피지컬.
심으뜸과 함께 시작해볼까요?
공익광고 협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. 로라 민수의 인사이드 아웃 부산.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. This is the second hour of Inside Busan, and I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. I do hope you are having a lovely Monday evening. In the first hour, we had Andrew for Monday Riddler. 항상 Andrew 들어오면 저 엄청 생각을 해야 되거든요. My brain is like fried by the end of his segment because I'm using it so much. And I still can't get a lot of his questions, right? We have a packed second hour to get to, right? But we always start off the second hour of our show with On the Mic. This is a segment where we get to delve into the lives of you, Busan citizens. So let's see who we have for today.
All right, today we're going to talk to someone and find out a little bit about their life. Hi, what's your name? 이름이 뭐예요?
제 이름은 윤미영이라고 합니다.
만나서 반갑습니다. 무슨 일 하고 있어요? What is your job?
저는 숲 해설가입니다.
이거 뭐예요? 어떤 일이에요?
네, 숲에서 아이들이랑 그리고 어른들이랑 다 같이 숲을 즐기고 놀이를 하는 직업이에요.
Wow, so you are someone that works in the forest and you show people how to have fun and teach them about it. 그래서 부산에서 어디 숲에서 해요?
지금 현재는 사구에 있는 모룬대, 아미산 그리고 승악산에서 일하고 있습니다.
승악산도.
네.
그래서 저기에서 아이 오면 아니면 사람 가면 어떻게 즐길 수 있어요?
네, 만약에 아이들이 오면 저희를 따라 숲을 이동하면서 숲에 살고 있는 다양한 동식물을 보기도 하고요. 그 동식물이 가지고 있는 특성도 관찰해보고 놀이를 통해서 그들의 삶을 이해하는 그런 프로그램을 진행하고 있습니다.
Wow, so she's teaching people about the different kinds of plants and things that are alive on the mountain. 그래서 혹시 승악산에 뭐 있어요?
승악산에 가시면 여러분들 잘 모르시면 대표적인 나무가 무엇이냐면 가래나무가 있어요.
So there's a tree called the 가래나무.
네.
Okay.
가래는 우리가 알기로 목에 있는 걸걸걸 긁는 그 가래가 아니에요.
이거
네.
아니요?
그 가래 아니고요. Okay. 이 가래는 호두 알죠? 호두.
Yeah, 호두. So the walnut, right?
네,
Okay.
그 호두의 사촌이에요.
Oh, it's the cousin. It's
네.
relative of the hodu. Okay.
네네네. 그 호두랑 맛이 비슷하고요. 따서 보시면 호두랑 거의 똑같이 생겼어요. 그 나무가 승악산에 많이 살고 있습니다.
Oh, wow. 너무 멋있어요. 그리고 다른 지역 어디에서 해요? 승악산하고 다른 어디?
아미산 모른데.
아, 아미산. 아미산 조금 소개해 주세요. 아미산 어디쯤 있어요?
네, 아미산은 여기 장림과 다대포에 이어서 있는 산인데요. 아미산은 그 형태가 사람의 눈썹 같다고 해서 아미산이라고 부르는 곳입니다.
Ah, so she says Amisan's located near Darepo, and the reason it's called Amisan is because it looks like someone's eyebrows.
네.
Wow. 그래서 아미산 뭐뭐 있어요?
아미산에도 다양한 동식물들이 많은데요. 대표적으로 아미산에는 오리나무가 있어요.
오리나무, like a duck? Quack, quack, quack?
네네네네. 오리나무 중에서 사방 오리나무가 있는데 사방 오리나무는 옛날에 숲이 전쟁이나 아니면 홍수로 인해서 숲이 망가졌을 때 그 숲을 다시 살리는 나무가 사방 오리나무입니다.
Wow, very cool. 그래서 이런 일 어떻게 관심 생겼어요? 왜 이런 일 하고 싶었어요? Why did you want to have this kind of job?
네, 저희 지역 사학구에서 하는 교육 프로그램이 있었는데 거기 참여하면서 이런 일이 있다는 걸 알게 되었어요. 그래서 그 일을 시작하면서 다양한 자격증도 따고 이 일을 결국 하게 되었네요.
어렸을 때부터 like 자연 있는 것 like 숲 관심 있었어요? Were you interested in this kind of thing when you were young?
네, 어릴 때도 관심이 많았죠. 제 고향은 명지인데요. 우리 고향 명지는 옛날에 새들이 정말 많았어요. 그래서 학교 등 하굣길에서도 새를 만나고요. 가족들이 그 새를 보면서 얽힌 얘기도 들려주고 하면서 그때부터 관심이 많았던 것 같아요.
Oh, so she grew up in Myeongji and there was always so many birds, so she had such an interest. And 어렸을 때부터 명지 살았는데 지금 명지 많이 달라졌어요.
네.
조금 설명해 주세요.
네, 명지가 옛날에는 그냥 명지는 삼각주죠. 낙동강 강 가운데 있는 섬 같은 곳인데 지금은 명지가 개발이 많이 돼서 아파트도 많이 들어오고요. 공단도 많이 들어왔어요. 그래서 제가 어릴 적에 그 모습을 잃어버려서 가끔은 그곳에 가면 마음이 아프기도 합니다. 하지만 더 많은 분들이 제가 사랑하는 고향에 살게 되어서 좋은 면도 있다고 생각합니다.
Oh, and 사람 아마 like 해운대 많이 가고 소면 많이 가고 but 하지만 서부산 무슨 매력이 있어요? Why is the west part of Busan so charming?
예, 서부산은 동부산과 다르게 아무래도 동부산은 동쪽의 해안을 찾아다 보니까 파도도 세고요. 그다음에 모래사장밖에 없죠. 그렇지만 서쪽 해안에는 파도도 그다지 세지 않고 물길도 깊지가 않아요. 그래서 아이들이 놀 때 위험하지 않고요. 그리고 다양한 동쪽에는 없는 갯벌 체험도 하실 수 있고요. 그리고 숲도 다양하게 있어서 그 숲도 경험하실 수 있는 곳이 서부 해안이라고 할 수 있겠습니다.
Oh, so actually this part of Busan, the ocean is not deep and it's not as dangerous, so kids can come here and play. All right, well, thank you so much. And why is it important for people, 왜 이런 체험 필요해요? Why is it important for kids to have an experience with nature?
네, 점점 환경 생태에 대한 관심도 높아지고 더 중요성이 높아지는데요. 저희가 멀리 체험을 하러 간다면 아무래도 우리가 기름을 쓰고 멀리 가면 비행기도 타야 되고 하는 게 있겠지만 저희 고장 주변에도 정말 다른 데 가지 않아도 느낄 수 있는 체험의 장이 많아요. 그래서 한 걸음 더 가지 않고 걸어서 갈 수 있고 자전거 타고 갈 수 있는 우리 고장의 체험을 많이 하시면 환경에도 더 도움이 될 거라고 생각합니다.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Myung, and you did a great interview. 너무 수고 많았어요. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
A big thank you to our reporter Taegan. Now, Taegan was obviously outdoors as she was outside. And if you do remember, over the weekend, it was quite rainy, quite windy. But because today's special guest is a person, that's very much outdoors most of the time because of her work. Our special guest, Byung-nim, who works for Busan City. And she mentioned that she promotes education, carries out education about our city's forests as well as nature. She's doing good work, right? Living in Busan, the second biggest city of Korea, we get caught up a lot of the times in just the urban, the big buildings, skyscrapers. We sometimes forget just how important, being around nature is in our daily lives. So she told us a little bit about why she thinks it's important that people learn about nature as well. She gave some information about, just the nature around the two important places that she's in charge of, Seungaksan and Amisan. I've been up both, right? Seungaksan because of my work near the university there. And Amisan, not too far. I would say because one of the things that I love about Busan is our access to so many mountains. Now, as you know, I might not look it sometimes, but I do enjoy going hiking. And as Andrew mentioned, fall is right around the corner. 좀 있으면 가을이잖아요. 가을이면 네, 등산입니다. So a couple of good options to go hiking soon, Myung. Thank you so much for the recommendations. And she also, told us how important it is for kids to be out in nature. So I didn't know this as a very rookie parent, as a very rookie dad, only with one kid. So everything's new to me. I recently found out that here in Busan, and they do this just throughout Korea, but they especially have it here in Busan, that they have these experience classes for kids that an instructor, a certified instructor, takes, like these group of kids. It's really for a short time, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, into up like not too much into the forest or into the mountains, but along the hiking trails. And the instructor kind of points out things like, vegetation, trees, leaves, even like animals or even insects they might find in the forest. And I think that's a really great experience, especially for the kids. 어릴 때부터 자연이랑 같이 이렇게 하고 같이 있으면 I think it gives children like this really like broad view of life. Compared to, let's say, somebody that just grew up in in like a city center, just always surrounded by buildings, always in tight spaces, I think that's a big difference. So, folks, take advantage of all the nature Busan has available. Our mountains, and of course, our rivers and whatnot, and of course, our beaches. Thank you so much to our reporter Taegan and to today's guest, 우리 미영님. That was today's On the Mic. All right, the time is now 7:10. We are going to take a quick song break. This is the Cranberries with Linger. And that was the Cranberries with Linger. The time is now 7:14 here in the studio, second hour of Inside at Busan, and I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, keeping me company all by my lonesome starting today, right? Of course, not complaining or anything, but it does feel different, right? With, somebody that you've done a show with for the past 2 years, and then they're suddenly gone. So yeah, not pointing fingers, not blaming anything. Of course, we're very excited for Laura and the, next phase of her life and all. So, but yeah, we miss you, Laura. Are you listening? You better be. Let me fill you in on what the weather and traffic is looking like here in Busan City. Currently averaging 27 degrees. Tomorrow expecting morning low of 23 and an afternoon high of 29. So in terms of our city and the weather tomorrow, sunny skies, which is good news, right? For over the weekend, 비 엄청 왔잖아요, right? So today we saw like, a break in the rain. Well, not even a break. I guess the end of it. Expect today's weather to kind of continue on. The September heat wave, right? It's kind of weird to say a heat wave in September as we're so close to Chuseok and the month of October. But the heat wave will continue with afternoon temperatures going 2 to 4 degrees higher than normal levels. So morning and evening will be relatively breezy with readings below the seasonal norms, but it's that afternoon that will get our listeners. So do be careful. 내일은 대체로 맑고 아침 저녁으로 선선하겠습니다. 근데 오후에는 덥습니다. 네, 꼭꼭꼭 잘 챙기시고요. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion on Yunsan Tunnel from Haedongdong going towards Bugok Interchange. And then we also have congestion on Nakdong-Bukno from Gupodaegyo going towards Gupodaegyo Junction. Slow-moving traffic on Jungangdaero from Jungbu Police Station going towards Yeongju Junction. Everybody, drive safe. 꼭 부탁드릴게요. Let's see. Going to our Kakao Talk, we had a message that came in from 희자님. 희자님. 안녕하세요. 오랜만입니다. Saying, hi, Min-Soo. Yesterday, this was Children's Grand Park after 2 days of heavy rain on the weekend. Yeah, and you actually, not even a picture, you showed me a video of, I guess it's your stroll through 어린이 대공원, right? I remember the streams there being very gentle, right? But the video you sent me, it's like full on, like the water's like raging. It's like raging rapids right now. 엄청 세게 물이 흘러내리고 있네요. 저도 어제, where was I? From the, from where you come from 구서동 down into Centum, so right before the 반여동, that area. And of course, the river, right, that goes up towards like the Oncheon area, but the river that comes all the way down next to Centum, 거기에 엄청 올라와 있더라고요. So much so that I think all the walkways were pretty much just flooded. And like I think the soccer fields that are usually next to the stream, next to the Oncheon, they were completely overtaken by the water too. So I do hope everybody stayed safe over the weekend. Yeah, it was weird to see that much rain just this kind of late in the summer season. And we're expecting, autumn season to come like tomorrow or something. 그래서 이렇게 여름에 늦게 비가 보이는 건 저는 좀 어색하고요, right? So hopefully this is like the last of it, and then all we got to do is just wait for fall. 희자님, thank you so much for just your message as well as your video. Yeah, listeners, I do hope you're having a good Monday evening. I know a lot of people, they had a lot of people I talked to, they always mention, I would ask them, how was your weekend? And they would say, oh, ruined by the rain. Yeah, I guess we weren't expecting so much rain over the weekend. 저도 사실 토요일에 그냥 오랜만에 이제 부산 한국 다시 들어온 지 얼마 안 됐고 it's like my first weekend. I was thinking about just kind of going out with my family, taking a walk around 광안리 because we haven't done it in like almost a month, right before I left for America. Couldn't do it, obviously, because of the rain. I'm sure there are a lot of other people that even had bigger plans, right, that fell through because of the rain. But most important thing, I do hope everybody was safe, okay? All right, 7:19 here in the studio. So a bit of a change with the mid-season change here on Inside Up Busan. We did have a person leave, right? I think this is going to be the last time I mention, that person whose name shall never be spoken again. No. Yeah, it was last week was Laura's last week. And yeah, we said bye to her. So a bit of a change. We're actually going to see a couple new faces throughout this week, filling in for, of course, Laura. And the segment that she usually did, Me Time, which we switched over to Mondays. And then we're going to see a new reporter come in on Wednesday for Worldwide Whatevers. If you've been tuning into Inside Out Busan, that's a segment that I led with Laura. But now that Laura's not in the studio anymore, we're actually going to have a reporter come in. So stick around on Wednesday's show to meet our new reporter. But let's get to today's Me Time. I do want to say hi to our special guest. All right, folks, from here on out, every Monday is going to be Me Time in the second half of our show. And for Me Time, we have back with us, well, first time for me, but back here in the studio on our show is Bonnie. Hello, Bonnie.
Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Lovely to meet you. So you were on, I believe... last week,
yes,
right? When I wasn't here, you and Laura, and you led Me Time. It was usually Laura's segment, but you took the helms, right?
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah. So from here on out, with Laura gone, you'll be filling in.
Yeah,
you'll be our Monday reporter for Me Time.
Yep.
Pleasure to have you with us.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So I know you probably introduced yourself a little bit, but for my sake, right, and maybe some of our listeners whose first time might be meeting you, could you maybe introduce yourself just a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Bonnie, obviously, and I'm from California. I've been living in Busan for almost 2.5 years, going on 3 years. My background's in sustainability, working with nonprofits and wellness. So worked with a lot of schools, education, but have a deep passion in trying to spread sustainability and also just mental health, well-being.
Two very important things, very, very relevant things that should be a part of everybody's lives these days. Well, I'm very pleased to have you in the studio because I don't know if you've heard, I'm also from California.
Oh.
Where in Cali are
we
you?
stick together.
Yeah, where in Cali are you from?
I'm born and raised in Monterey, so Central California.
Really?
And then went to college in Santa Barbara and was there for the past 14 years. So I always say I'm like half and half, like a NorCaler and SoCaler.
So I am a NorCaler. I'm from the Bay Area, right?
Nice.
I'm from Oakland. But recently I was there last week.
Last week?
No, last week, sorry. Last 2 weeks ago, because I was there for my cousin's wedding. And my cousin had her wedding. Now, this might sound very familiar to you. We had it at Carmel.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, right next.
They were our rival high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to Pacific Grove PG High and Carmel. They're long-standing rivals. Actually, the longest rivalry in Monterey County.
Really?
Our two schools, yeah.
Oh.
But I hope the wedding was nice.
It was nice. It was nice, right?
I mean, the area is really nice.
Yeah. Go Carmel. No, I'm just kidding. Nice. Well, Bonnie, so as you are leading Me Time, what do you got for us today?
Well, okay, I'm going to lead you with a question, actually, here. So where do you get your produce from? Do you know? Do you buy your produce?
We get our produce online. I don't know. That's kind of weird to say. If I say I get my produce online to people back home, some people be like, "Oh yeah, that's usual because now everything's online."
Yeah.
But then some people, you order your produce, shouldn't you go in and grab it and see how ripe it is and everything? But
that's so common. Actually, probably most of our listeners probably get their produce online also. So you're not the only one. Not to shame you or anything like that.
But I'm a little embarrassed.
No, that's common. But that's what our segment today is going to focus on, is going to the market and shopping local.
Okay.
But obviously you might say oh yeah, of course. But I'm going to tell you why, the benefits why. Because it's not only good for community, obviously, and maybe getting some exercise, like walking outside instead of sitting at home on your phone, but also there's a lot of benefits for your health as
Oh,
well.
okay. Just in terms of buying your groceries, especially like vegetables, local.
Yes, especially.
Okay.
So on average, I'm going to hit you with a little data here.
Yes.
On average, your produce in the supermarket or maybe online travels about 1,500 miles to get to you from farm to plate. So, or that's okay for Korea, 2,400 kilometers.
Oh my gosh.
So that's like the length of Korea twice.
Yeah.
Like driving for 30 hours or so. But that's on
crazy.
average how far produce takes to get to you.
Yeah.
To the grocery store. So that's a pretty long way.
It is.
Right?
Right.
Just for you to get like lettuce,
Yeah.
my favorite avocados.
And if you think of it that way, then that means like they say fresh vegetables, but is it really fresh? Like think how much time it would spend in like in trucks and cars,
Shipping containers.
Yeah, being refrigerated and everything. I know that can't be really like the best for, keeping vegetables and fruit fresh.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So the benefits, I'll go through some of the benefits locally, like supporting your community wise. It obviously supports small businesses rather than like the big corporate grocery stores.
Oh, yeah.
It can be good for you as far as exercise because you're walking to the local market.
Sure.
You're getting to know your community members, especially if you go kind of around Korea, the little Shijang markets. It's the same old ladies going out there.
Yeah.
You're kind of getting to know your community too.
Yeah.
They recognize you if you always go there. So it's nice to have that community connection. But it also keeps the money, this is economically, keeps the money within your community.
Very true.
So it's really good for your local economy
Yeah.
as well. And you're circulating that money throughout. And this is a big one, but usually whatever is local is also what's in season.
Yeah.
And eating what is in season is especially really great for your health.
Ooh, okay. I've never thought of the health aspect of it, but if you think, let's say economically, right? Eating what's in season is probably also something that really helps when it comes to your finances, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're trying to stick with what you like, let's say the vegetables or food or just in general that you like, and let's say it's hard to come by in a season, that means you're paying a lot more than what you would normally kind of buy when it's in season.
Oh, totally.
Right?
So it's cheaper because, of course, if you buy locally and it's in season, then it's what's supposed to be readily available for you. So it's cheaper in that way. But also, if you go to the markets, I find here, I go and bring my own little bags. Bring your eco bags, everybody, because we're trying to reduce our plastic. So if you bring your little eco bags and you go to the market, they tend to give you like service. They're like, oh, take a little bit more, take a little more. They think it's cute that you bring your own bag. So they always give you a little extra too. So I hear this complaint a lot from expats that produce is really expensive in Korea.
Really?
And this is a way to get more produce cheaper. So I'm telling everybody.
It's probably not like, they see, Minsu's thinking about the environment with his little, tote bag or whatnot. But it's more like, oh, 너무 귀엽다. Let me 챙겨 you a little more, right? Give you like an extra potato or something.
Yeah, they think it's cute.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my gosh. look
Why
at that little
not,
bag.
right? It brightens, it puts a smile on the, 이모님들
Yeah.
faces, right? And you also get...
It's like win-win because I don't think they want to hold on to all this vegetables and fruits that are going to go
Very
bad
true.
either.
Yeah.
So for them, it benefits them as also they're like, yeah, take 6, take 5, take
맞아요.
7. I'm always like, no, I don't want that much.
Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. But how does eating locally, how does that promote health then?
So not only is it taste better, it
Yeah.
does also taste better when you're getting something that's in season, but also there are more nutrients in food that are picked right away. So instead of having vegetables that were picked like months or maybe weeks beforehand, they don't ripen all the way. So if you're getting fruits and veg that are right off the vine, they've gotten more time to get all the good nutrients from the soil, and then
that's true.
coming straight to you.
Like, because you mentioned in the beginning where, that's thousands and thousands of kilometers that you usually, like, probably like the fruit you buy, the journey that it takes. And during that time, like we said, being in containers, being in the refrigerator, that's not going to be, good for just the nutrients within.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And so actually nutrients like folate, vitamin C, carotenes, they really decline quickly when they're being stored. So they're best to eat right off the vine. Have you ever had something right off the vine, like from a garden or farm?
So I was at my, like I said, I was at my cousin's over in America, and I was visiting their house, and they had like this kind of like garden, like small garden they were taking care of, and they had like strawberries growing.
Yum.
And that was my first time that they they found like this one mini strawberry out of the bunch. It was like, I mean, there's they didn't use any chemicals or anything. So I was like, this is my first time just snatching any like fruit or vegetable off like a vine or a tree and then sticking right in my mouth.
How was it?
It was a little dusty. I should have kind of rinsed it underwater a little bit first, but I don't know. I liked
the
it.
full experience.
Like it was like the literal, like me literally experiencing the saying, like kind of like eating or living off like the land, as they say. Just you picking something up like that you grew and then eating it.
Oh, it's so awesome.
It was nice actually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I remember same thing in California. I went to like a community garden and I had a tomato, like a little cherry tomato fresh off the vine, and it tasted like nothing else I've ever tasted. Every other tomato, I feel like I hated tomatoes growing up because they were just like the thing that you didn't want in your sandwich. You would push it out of the way. But this tomato was like candy. It was sweet. And I just couldn't stop taking them off the vine. They had to like tell me to calm down a little bit.
I think it's also because you like put your care and like love into growing that that vegetable or fruit. So it's kind of weird to say, I took care of this, I grew this, it's kind of like my baby, and then you're like eating it, right? But I guess, that much care and consideration in growing that probably helped it taste better.
Yeah. So the taste, it can correlate with how many nutrients are in it. It's gotten the full time to really ripen on the vine. And then also when you're buying locally, most of the time what you're getting is seasonal vegetables. So eating seasonal foods are really awesome for your health also. So for example, like citrus fruits. Citrus fruits like oranges in Korea, like halabang, yuja.
Yeah.
Those are really usually ready in the winter time. So in the winter, you need a lot of vitamin C because you need to help prevent your body from getting sicknesses.
맞습니다.
Right? Because it's cold in the winter. So those correlate. And then also in the summer, there are fruits like stone fruits that have like a big pit inside, like apricots, peaches. Those have a lot of, I practiced how to pronounce this, carotenoids.
You're probably correct.
Carotenoids and beta carotenes, and those actually help protect your body from damage from the sun.
Oh.
In the summer when it's really hot, you're getting a lot of sun exposure.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so actually when you're eating things that are in season, you're helping to protect your body from whatever that season brings upon you as well.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy how nature works that way.
Nature knows everything.
So, like you said, in the summer, a lot of people worry, getting sunburnt and everything. And, nature's been giving you, I've been giving you all this fruit, things that you could eat that will protect you, right? From the damage from the sun. But we just, we always opt for the
Nature has it all
sunscreen.
figured out, So,
so
once we
interesting.
started kind of messing with the system, being like, well, I want an orange in the winter or in the summertime.
You have cravings, right?
Yeah. And so now we kind of live in a society where we can have whatever we want, whenever we want. So we're used to that.
Yeah.
So I know it's kind of hard to break that, but this is why I'm saying go to the market because then you don't really have to like think about it. Usually what's at the market is what's local and what's in season. So then you don't have to think. You just go to the market, get to know your local ajumas, bring your little eco bag, and then you will feel better. You'll be healthier. You're supporting your local community. There's so many benefits.
맞아요. Speaking of, I think this was one of my first 시장 experiences here in Korea. So as soon as I came to Korea, I was enlisted in the army, right? Because I was a Korean citizen. But in the army, they always provided us with 귤. Well, especially they came out a lot during the winter time, but I remember having it in summer too, right? I was like, so that's when I figured, this might be a very just a normal fruit here in Korea. And after my stint in the army, I would, this is my first time out in society, and I went to the 시장, and I would look for 귤 because I was craving it. And this was in summer, I think, and then I went to like a couple of fruit stands, and there's no 귤 there, right? And I would ask one of the ajumma, like, oh, 왜 귤 없어요? Right? Because I was just so tired. I just wanted to find it. Maybe I had to ask for it. And then she let me know, like, 귤 is only like a winter thing, right? Like, where are you from?
Yeah.
Right? Even.
Yeah. How do you not know this?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, not
But we
here.
we don't really know that. I mean, growing up, especially, most of our parents got food from the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like in California, we don't really have shijangs.
Yeah.
We had farmers markets, like once a week maybe, but most of the food came from the grocery store.
Yeah.
So kids kind of grow up, and we grew up not knowing what was in season because we just had everything readily available for us all the time.
And it goes to show you, at me, how old was I? 25 years old. That's my first time doing my own grocery shopping for myself. So, yeah. So, fruit and vegetables and food, just in general, that's in season. Other than, you mentioned like the citrus fruits, right? So like yuja, hallabong, and whatnot. What can you tell us of other representative seasonal food and fruits and vegetables in Korea?
So for spring, strawberries, spinach, and chame. Chame in the spring.
I love chame.
Really good. And then also in the fall, we're coming up on fall. So you guys look out for apples, pears, persimmons. Those are the fruits that you're going to be wanting to eat.
So that's why my parents have been giving us a bunch of apples these days. I was like, why now? Because they have an all summer season. Because it's in season.
Yeah, they're the best to eat right now. So wherever you are in the world, this will vary because climates are obviously different, seasons are different. So research from wherever region you are in, what is in season for that region, and try. And then, like I said, if you don't want to look it up, just go to the market.
Yeah,
the local farmers, they will know if you ask them, is this in season or was this, where was this grown? That's my favorite question at the Shijang. Like, where was this from? Where did you guys get this? And they'll tell you, or most of the time. Hopefully, they'll be honest with you.
Or if you're like me and you were traumatized by one of the emos at the Shijang for asking where the 귤 was, and you can never talk to a Shijang, emo ever again, just buy what's out on display.
Yeah.
Okay? Or just eat what they give you. Don't ask any
telltale
questions.
sign is if it has a sticker. If it has a sticker on it, it probably came over on a shipping container.
Oh, okay.
But check the stickers, because usually the stickers say where that fruit or vegetable came from. So check the little sticker, and if it's somewhere like Guatemala, Mexico, that took a while to get here.
Okay. All right. So going shopping local when it comes to your fruit and vegetables, right? So with this segment, Me Time, we always like to kind of, because spending time and spending time for yourself is so important, as over the past couple of seasons Laura has mentioned, through this program. So how would you say, shopping locally, eating kind of what's available, what's in season, how is this contributing to our Me Time?
Well, so I wanted to mention this kind of shopping also is so good for the environment and for the planet. So with all these benefits that you're getting, so when you're usually ordering, like you said, if you order online, you're kind of just like mindlessly scrolling and you're like just picking what you kind of feel like. When you take the time out of your day to actually mindfully go pick out your produce, go talk to people in your community, that's going to make you feel so much better, so much happier. And then when you go home to actually cook your food, you kind of have this like connection more with what you're making, and you kind of feel better about like, oh, I went all the way to the market to get this. Look at this awesome stuff that I got. And you have more connection to your food that you're making. And so I find this often too is when I go to the market and shop, I usually tend to eat all the stuff that I buy instead of letting it kind of go to waste, because you took the time out. Like you took time out of your day, walked to the market, talked to people, you carried it all back. So all that effort put in, you want to make sure all that food gets eaten, right? So you have less food waste. So there's so many benefits to this, and I feel like you just feel better and healthier when you're making your own food that you got from the source. So even if you didn't go out and pick it, most of the time you're supporting your local community and you're supporting your local farmers, right? So it's kind of like giving thanks back to them, giving thanks back to the land, giving thanks back to nature. So there's a lot of different connections, and like I said, you're more likely to eat all of it. So then you feel better about not wasting food also. And the whole environmental aspect of it, you can feel so much better about going to the market, buying without plastic wrapping,
맞아요.
right? Not supporting these like big corporate grocery stores.
Yeah.
So I feel like you also feel proud
Yeah.
of yourself for
Yeah.
going to do this. And if it becomes kind of like a weekly routine, it's fun. It's actually
Something you
way
can look
more
forward to.
fun than ordering from your phone. I guarantee that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try it.
I
Try
gotta
it,
put
everybody.
I'll probably tell my wife to put a halt on the, the automatic regular orders. Like after 2 weeks, just continuously send us these vegetables and fruits. And yeah, stop by. Like I know there's like a big like a vegetable and fruits market near like in the Panyodong area, right? Could you maybe recommend other like markets that are good
Yeah.
for specifically, fruits and vegetables here in Busan?
So I live in Haeundae, so I usually go to that, main strip in Haeundae where
Yes.
everybody walks down. So if you're walking towards the beach, on the left-hand side, there's a little marketplace with the string lights above. So at nighttime, they have the hot dog and they have all
Yes.
the little things that you can buy. But during the daytime, they actually have a market. So in the daytime, you can walk through, and they actually have like kimchi and that kind of stuff too that you can buy
Yeah.
readily made. But they have like fresh pressed sesame oil you can get from there. They actually have one lady that has her own tubu, her tofu that she makes.
Ooh.
So lots of fruits
Hot
and
piping
vegetables.
tubu, like right freshly made. Oh, it's
Yeah.
delicious.
So that's one of my favorite spots to go to. And then also, I know Changsan has a really awesome market as well. And honestly, any neighborhood, there's always somebody pedaling from the back of a truck.
Oh yeah.
So find that person,
Yeah.
ask them when they're there, get to know them. And, me time isn't always just about time by yourself, also about time, quality time with like your community,
Yeah.
right? That's all good for you. I know Laura's mentioned this so many times, but just connecting with people, connecting with your food, all this stuff is beneficial
Yeah.
for you, for your me time
Yeah.
also. But also if you want to go with your family, it's a great like family outing.
Yeah.
Take the time on the weekend, find your local market or find your local farmers. Even going to the farm is even better.
Yeah.
But that's for another episode.
맞아요. Nice. So Bonnie has brought us shopping locally, eating locally, how that's not only good for yourself and your health, but also you're helping out the community, local farmers and the markets. Nice. A win-win situation if we shop locally a little bit more.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Bonnie, thank you so much. That'll do it for today's Me Time. We'll see you every Monday at
Yep.
this time, right?
Yep, you're stuck with me now.
No complaints. All right, Bonnie, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's take a quick song break. This is Starship with Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now.
Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I found is too good to be true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I'm feeling for you.
Let 'em say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby. Don't ever look back. Let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we're heart to heart. And we can build this dream together. Standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
I'm so glad I found you. I'm not gonna lose you. Whatever it takes, I will stay here with you. Take it to the good times, see it through the bad times. Whatever it takes is what I'm gonna do.
Let 'em say we're crazy. What do they know? Put your arms around me, baby. Don't ever let go.
안녕하세요. 고품격 영어 방송 Inside Out 부산의 품격 있는 Writer Steve입니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in Gyeongdong and Yeonsan-dong, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. Museum of Illusion 부산 착시미술관 입장권. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 인투 로스터리. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee whole beans sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. IOB와 함께하는 품격 있는 선물. It's all yours, listeners.
All right, listeners, it's time now for the last segment of Inside of Busan. This is the daily regular segment that we have towards the end of our show. It is quote unquote. So this is a segment where, usually me and, Laura until last week would bring a quote for our listeners that is kind of relevant in our lives, and hopefully it becomes kind of relevant in your life. I know we all come from different backgrounds, and everything that we're going through is a little different, but just kind of through this segment, I feel like we get to focus a tidbit on what each of us are going through in our lives, right? And hopefully you guys get something out of it. So from here on out, it will always be my turn for quote unquote, unless it's Friday. Steve will continue to provide quote unquote. So for today, I bring a quote by U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, right? So I'm going to tell you his quote first, and I'll get into why I brought this quote for today. So Franklin D. Roosevelt, his quote is, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." Once again, the quote is, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." So this quote is from Franklin Roosevelt's inaugural speech as he assumed the presidency during the Great Depression back in 1933 in the U.S. So he was addressing the very severe economic as well as the challenges society was facing in the U.S. at that time. So Roosevelt, in his speech, he was emphasizing that fear, 두려움, by itself, rather than any particular crisis, was the greatest enemy. So he thought that fear could paralyze individuals and a society as a whole. And if you're paralyzed, this prevents you from taking the necessary actions to overcome difficulties. So the reason why I bring this to you today, I'll be honest, I was a little scared in the beginning of our show with just going from 2 to 1. But with this quote, I thought, because Franklin D. Roosevelt, through this quote, today in my life and just the society as a whole, it highlights the universal nature of fear and the importance of not letting it control our actions. In our daily lives, in mine too, we often face a lot of challenges, a lot of uncertainties, and a lot of changes, like starting today here on Inside Out Busan. Fear of the unknown or even fear of failure can really hold us back from pursuing our goals and making positive changes. So with this quote, I wanted to maybe kind of provide our listeners with a couple of kind of pick-me-ups, a little bit of encouragements the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. So through this quote, it reminds us that we should embrace change. You know, fear of change can hinder our own growth and even innovation in our lives. So we need to adapt. We need to learn from new experiences rather than fearing them. 계속 두려우면 못 움직이잖아요, right? And that means you're stuck in this endless loop. You're never moving forward. So embrace the change, embrace the fear, take risks, right? This is something 지금 Minsu's telling me to take risks right now. But fear of failure can prevent us from taking calculated risks that may lead to success. So this quote encourages us to confront our fears and take action. So overall, so today's quote unquote, Roosevelt's quote, it's kind of like this reminder that, yeah, fear can be this really big, formidable obstacle, but as long as you know that this is something that you can overcome, and if you have and muster up the courage to confront it, this can be kind of like the first step in achieving personal and even maybe as a society growth. So, in the beginning of our show, you know, I had some of our listeners ask me, "Oh, 괜찮아요? Is it okay?" And I could confidently say, 괜찮아요, right? As I take this kind of big leap, you know, with Inside Out Busan by myself. So hopefully this encourages our listeners, right? To, yeah, don't let fear get you down. As Franklin D. Roosevelt says, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Once you get past that, 아무것도 아니에요. It's nothing. All right, listeners, time to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for spending the past 2 hours with me. 너무너무 감사합니다. I'll see you back here tomorrow. 내일 올 거죠? 꼭꼭꼭. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to leave you with our last track. This one's by Fleetwood Mac, Dreams. Inside Out Busan was hosted and produced by Minsu Shin, written by Im Soo-jin. Folks, have a good one. Bye.
Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. But listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say when they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you know. Now here I go again. I see the crystal vision. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams. And have you any dreams you like to sell? Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you